Hi everyone. Well, today's interview, I am joined by Nergish Wadia-Austin, who I've known for many years as being an industry expert and consultant, but also the founder of PHAB Service Stars, which is what this interview will discuss today, and why you, as a nail professional, should apply for a PHAB Service Star. And also with me is the fabulous Katie Clark, who is a multi-award winning nail professional, also someone who I've known for many, many years, and the newest addition to the PHAB Service Stars Advisory Board. So, first and foremost, Nergish, I'm going to hand over to you to explain what is the PHAB Service Stars.
Thank you very much, Helena, for the invite, and thank you, Katie, for joining us. Helena, you've forgotten to mention that you're also on our advisory board.
I am, yes.
Capable of giving me a hard time as well, as I believe both of you are planning to do in this interview. So wonderful. I'm going to enjoy this a lot. So, in a nutshell, because I'm trying to keep this very simple, PHAB Service Stars is a benchmark, much like it's the equivalent of the Michelin Stars that happen in catering and restauranting. And it's given to chefs. Likewise, the PHAB Service Star is given to salon professionals. Now, in this case, we're discussing nail technicians, but it's also given to hairdressers, hair colorists, barbers, and beauty therapists. But nail technicians is what we're here to discuss. Now, a benchmark simply, and I'm going to use my hands to describe this, because we have an advisory board full of experts who believe in a benchmark going forward for the industry. It's a line that is drawn in any sector of our industry, and in this case, I'm going to discuss nails. So there are results that people report in the whole country. Right now, we're looking at the UK and Ireland. And nail technicians will report how many customers they see per day and what they're doing with their retail sales, etc., to show that they're running a fantastic business and that it's organized, it delivers customer service to its fullest standard, not incomplete customer service, and that they look after the customer from start to finish, that the customer comes back and the customer recommends friends. So those are the things that we're measuring to know that you are among the best. So if this is the industry standard for repeat business for nail technicians, you have to be performing at a higher than industry average, which makes you automatically the best. So we're not interested in people performing at an average level, but so many of you around the country, so very many of you are performing at a higher level. We want you to apply. It's simple. It's an online application. If you don't tell anyone that you're applying, no one will know that you're applying. So no one will know whether you've passed or not passed our verification processes. And last but not least, and this is not a small thing, we charge £80 plus VAT. That £80 is not taken until you pass your verification, which means if for any reason we have to turn you down on this occasion, which is only 3 months away from when you can reapply, I am telling you your card is not charged. So the whole process has been free. The only time you get charged is if you're successful and that we can promote you for the whole year to say you're among the best. So that's it. That's how simple this benchmark is. And I hope I've been clear enough. We're looking for the best. And we know that there are hundreds and hundreds of you around the country that are the best.
And
that's the way I can explain it.
no, brilliant.
If someone doesn't pass, the beauty about it is that they get full feedback of why they haven't passed. And here's 3 things you could do in order to pass in 3 months. Go away and do that. Sort it out because it'll help your customers. It'll help you make more money. It's about supporting the people that go the extra mile for their customers. So if you're working hard for your customers and you're going the extra mile, then there should be nothing to stop you from picking up that application. As I've said, no one will know you've applied. No one will know you've been turned down. The only time anyone will know is if you've been successful.
Absolutely. And how have you set that standard? What has defined that standard so that people know I'm performing better than that, or I think that I'm performing better than that, so I'm going to apply. What is that average?
Absolutely. So we have industry experts that guide the PHAB Service Stars. They're called our advisory board members. They come from all walks of life. Two of the nail people that are guiding the stars are sitting right here in front of me. We have other people that maybe from manufacturing, from distributing, etc. When you're placing your orders, they know how much you're ordering, they know how much you're doing. Does that make sense? We don't need to know the price point that you're charging. We'll check all of that at the side with our verifications. We don't need to know how much money you're taking. It's all based on your performance numbers. They're called KPIs in the industry. So it's how many customers do you see per day? How many of those are coming? Those type of numbers is what we're interested in, not the amount of money you're taking. So when we know those, and then you go through the verification steps, the two will collide. The two will back each other up. The advisory board members, right at the start when the PHAB Service Stars were designed, helped me put those in place. We have, shall I talk about the STIGs right now? There are three people in our on our advisory board. They're not on our advisory board. They do our checks for us physically. So if for any reason we feel that what we're getting is not right, it's not matching up with your performance numbers, we have the ability, if you remember the show Top Gear, and if any of you watched it, it's about cars, and there was a person in the car that did the round in the car, and they were called the STIG. No one knew they wore a helmet. No one knew their identity. We have three of those that can turn up at your business anytime to verify what you have said. So we look at everything from cleanliness to your best practice when it comes to environmentally conscious thing. I believe, Katie, you were talking to me about how important keeping your environment safe for the nail tech is, not just the customer. So as far as we're concerned, we're looking for best practice. So each item, we even ask you who your suppliers are to make sure you're not buying products that are substandard, that have ingredients like HEMA. For one example, would that make sense, Helena? Is that something that has been?
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting topic. I think with HEMA, it depends on the use, but that comes back to best practice. It's not. I think Katie, you'll hopefully sort of back me up on this in that HEMA's not bad if used professionally and appropriately. But this is the whole point of the PHAB Service Stars, isn't it? It's to find those people and recognize those people as people who are working appropriately, they're working safely, they're monitoring what they're doing, they are performing at an above average standard. And I just want to maybe go to you, Katie, on the standard side of things. Our industry isn't regulated, and there have been issues for some time, and there will continue to be issues with people who are enrolling in substandard courses and not achieving or going out there into business, maybe not being the standard that represents the industry very well. So why do you believe in the PHAB Service Stars? Why does this industry need it so much?
So I think this is a great way of improving those standards. We see so much of nail technicians in the industry and educators wanting to improve these standards, and this is a brilliant way to do it by having that benchmark of it's the cleanliness, the hygiene, the important things behind being a nail professional. So whilst the creativity is great and it's great if you can do fabulous nail art, the single most important thing about being a nail professional is that professional, hygienic, clean working technique that's going to be your bread and butter as well in having a successful business. So by having that benchmark, I think it's going to help to improve the standards. The people that apply and then get recognised, they're at that standard already. If you're applying and you don't quite make it the first time, you know what you need to do to improve. Now, it's really important, and it's something we've discussed before about understanding how important that feedback is to your business as a general. So it's not being disheartened as well by entering something or applying for something and not automatically getting through. The value of feedback to you as a salon owner, a nail technician, a nail professional is so invaluable. We all get very set in our ways. And unless we do something that challenges us, we don't necessarily have that opportunity to reflect on that or to see where we could make improvements. And I think with the PHAB Stars, it's renewed every year, I believe, isn't it, Nergish? I think that's really important because it means you have to keep on top.
Correct.
It's like, let's say we do our driving test, we pass it. I bet none of us would pass it again right now. But if you had to take it every year, you would really, really keep on top of it. So by having to maintain those standards annually, it's keeping you the absolute top of your game. And it just allows you to set your goals, reflect on your business, see any areas of improvement that you need to be making that you may not have even realised. And finding areas to improve, which is going to then in turn be beneficial to your clients, your business, and then the nail industry as a whole by everybody aiming for those benchmarks and standards in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to sort of touch on one of the points that you were saying there. This is not a competition or an awards event. This is a benchmark of excellence. It's that Michelin Star sticker that you have in your window. It's that certificate that you have that shows I have been thoroughly assessed and I am performing way above average when it comes to my business, the hygiene practices, the environmental practices. This is not about nail art. This is about I can perform an amazing service for my client. I may just specialize in natural nail care, or I may just specialize in beautiful gel polish overlays. That's great. If I'm doing it safely, I'm doing it well, and I'm running a very strong business, that I'm being honest, I'm being open, and I'm doing everything by the book and then some. That is what makes you worthy of a PHAB Service Stars accolade. It's nothing to do with your nail art and creativity.
Absolutely. Nail on the head. And when you asked, how do we get those industry standards? All the people are sitting on my advisory board. So if I have to ask a question that's appropriate for a barbering question, I've got barbering people that are specialists. Likewise, for nails, I've got lots of people on the advisory board for nails. Yeah. So they tell us the industry trend every quarter. So every quarter, the PHAB Service Star, by the way, also is adjusted. Recently, we have asked for all old qualifications. So when you're renewing your application, it's not difficult because you put all the information down. All you've got to do is give us your new numbers for the next year, how you're doing this year. So it's not the whole lengthy process again. It's a very simple process, but we want your current numbers. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So everything that's important to the consumer, to the nail technician, and to the owner of the business. Now, if those two happen to be the same people, why are we measuring this? Is because we're guaranteeing that when you step foot, let's pretend Gemma has applied. We are saying when we give her the PHAB Service Star, that Gemma is basic. You will not be disappointed when you sit in Gemma's chair. You are not going to be disappointed with your nails. It's as simple as that. One, Gemma listens to you because she wouldn't have a high number of customers coming in if she didn't listen. Two, we've got all her qualifications, so we know she's been trained in the right way. She hasn't taken an overnight course and called herself an expert, which happens. Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So we've checked all of that. We want the consumer to go in with such sort of confidence where they're going to spend their hard-earned money. And then if Gemma is situated in Grimsby, we are telling everyone around Grimsby to say, you've got the equivalent of a Michelin Star holder in Grimsby. You don't have to come all the way down to London or go to Manchester or go to Edinburgh. There's someone sitting in Grimsby that holds this star. Just go see her. Spend your money there.
And I think what's great about that is achieving this accolade and having that stamp of approval from PHAB Service Stars means the nail technician can then put their prices up if they wanted to. And,
Absolutely.
you know, the promotion that they get from it, from being, you know, potentially one of the only people in that area that has achieved that amazing accolade is unbelievable. And, you know, anyone can just go on the PHAB Service Stars website now and see who has achieved those accolades so far. And there's some amazing names, but you don't have to be this big name. You don't have to be an Errol Douglas or a Trevor Sorby or an Andrew Barton to achieve this, because it does come down to your everyday practice and your success there. And before, I think we'll dive a little bit deeper into the benefits later. But I do want to talk about why nail professionals can be sometimes nervous or reluctant to enter anything that the industry is putting out there for them. I see it on the competition side with Scratch Stars Awards, and I am constantly reaching out to people and saying, we think you should enter. And 90% of the time it's met, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not going to win, so I'm not going to. This isn't about winning. This is about developing and growing your profile and your presence and being recognized for your excellence. And it just seems that the hairdressing world and what I know about it, they're so much more willing to put themselves forward and put themselves in that spotlight. And with PHAB Service Stars, you can do it anonymously. So why wouldn't people do it? And, you know, you can try every 3 months until your standards are enough that hopefully you are recognised. But Katie, I'll ask you, from being a nail professional yourself and being so immersed in the nail realm as a brand owner as well, why do you think our sector is that much more nervous and scared to be recognised or enter or apply for initiatives like this?
I think in our industry, there's a lot of worry about failure and seeing not winning as failure.
Yeah, I agree.
Where it's not, it's such, excuse me, it's such an important thing to do as part of running a business, being a nail professional, to just keep on top, maintaining your skills, maintaining your standards, looking for areas that you can improve, because every single person, it does not matter how many awards they've won, how high up in their career they are, every single person has always got areas of improvement. And the ones that are at the top are the ones that continually assess that and make those changes and improvements. The nail industry it's so fast paced and it changes so quickly. It almost feels like every day there's something new, and it's keeping on top of that and pushing yourself as a nail professional and business owner, and just finding ways to continually grow and improve and adapt your business as well, and not being afraid of adapting, because things do need to change. And by entering and applying for something like PHAB Stars, I think, or even the PHAB Stars, Scratch Stars, the free feedback that you get is one of the most valuable things that you can ever get for your business. It's almost like a free training course with one of the nail professionals that you aspire to. So they are giving you then free feedback on how you can then improve your business. I know a lot of nail technicians have social anxiety, they're afraid of traveling, or that they're not good enough. And there's so much that goes into that. Like you touched on, a PHAB Star doesn't reward somebody that's just very, very creative and that does the most extreme, amazing set that you would see on a front cover and in a nail competition. But it does reward somebody that does that perfect gel polish, that kind of what some people would see as a just a typical normal nail salon service. And then if that's what you do and you do it really well, you may not see yourself as worthy as somebody that does these extravagant designs. But it's, to me, that skill, getting the perfect polish, not touching the skin, having good hygiene practices, consultation practices, cleanliness, that to me is the most important thing as a nail professional. So
Yes.
it's recognizing a different sector as well, I think, like a different area. You've got, you know, your different kinds of nail technicians as well, haven't you?
Sure.
And pardon me, the PHAB Stars is great because you don't have to travel to attend it to enter. You will, you know, you can sit anonymously. I think that's a great one as well, because if you're doing a physical face-to-face competition, you could be seen on the competition floor, especially if you maybe do it quite often, you then become recognized. And then the pressure of that actually can be worse than the competing itself, because if you're there, you're expected to win. So then if you feel that pressure on you, but it's completely anonymous, you do it in the background, you do it at home, you
You
enter
do it at midnight. You can do it any time you want.
Yeah.
and that's perfect for nail techs because I think they're like night owls anyway. A lot of nail techs are night owls. So it's great because you can do that entering in secret thing, and you will just get your feedback out of it. So whether you succeed
Yes.
or you get your feedback to improve yourself. And even if you use that feedback to not re-enter, you are then gaining that valuable insight to then improve your business. Or if you really want to push yourself, reapply again in the next 3 months.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
the
I was just calling
PHAB
you.
Service Stars, not the PHAB Stars, but the PHAB Service Stars are are, are unique in the way that they're independent. We don't care who you're working with. We don't care who your supplier is. So we're independent of anyone else. We're just looking at the fact that is your quality, your performance, and your finish on your nails. So if if you're a natural nail expert, the finish has to be superb. If you're an extension expert, the finish has to be superb. So if you're doing sub-quality work, you're not going to get through. But we check that. You leave that to us. 365 days of the year, day or night, you can apply for your PHAB Service Star. There is no time limit on it.
Yeah.
And some people will finish that form within, I don't know, 45 minutes. We have someone that finishes it in 45 minutes. We have someone that takes 2 months to do it every year. And by the way, just to let you guys know, 97% renewals. Once they get supported by us for a year, they want to do it every year because the support throughout the year is phenomenal. So it's not even a question of people don't reapply. The support we give you after that is phenomenal. Anyway.
And on that application as well, I mean, if the majority of nail professionals now have some kind of software system or a booking system that takes their payments for them, and it's all automated. So those statistics that the application asks for can largely be found within those software systems. So
they are found from the software systems, and the numbers are simple. First, we ask you how many years you've been qualified. If you're the best, you have to have experience. It logically becomes the fact that if you've newly graduated, you can't apply for a PHAB Service Star. It won't be worth your while because you can't be the best while you've just graduated. Like a chef who just graduates cannot be the best and get a Michelin star. They have to have several years of experience. But we don't care if you're young and you're simply gifted and you're doing this work and you're doing it to the best of the ability, that's fine. But you can't just graduate, get on the floor and expect to get a PHAB Service Star. It won't happen. You can try, but it won't happen, but it'll give you good feedback. Anyway, so what I would say to you is that don't underestimate what you do. Don't have what they call imposter syndrome, which is, you know, I'm old. Look, I will tell you, it's just someone who doubts themselves. Don't doubt yourself. Just find out from us, free of charge, if you're good enough or not. And when Katie says you can apply in secret, you can't. You have to have your name there. No one else apart from us will know you've applied. And we don't talk about you until you have gotten your PHAB Service Star. So what we mean is you still have to put in your details when you apply, and your correct details, because if you apply with a different name, your PHAB Service Star will appear with a different name on it. So don't do that. Apply with your correct details, but we will not tell anyone that you've applied. That's all it is until you've passed. Okay.
And for those that have passed,
Yeah.
I mean, your website speaks volumes with the testimonials from people
Yes.
that have passed and that have benefited from having this accolade. And also you were saying that there were 97% renewal. I mean, that's a phenomenal statistic. So, what are those benefits that are keeping these people renewing time and time again? What's the support?
I mean, you guys have basically understood that first you get feedback.
Mhm.
Even if you qualify, you're still going to get feedback because we've talked to your customers, we've looked at, suppliers, we've looked at there are lots that we do. Your answers, your numbers will tell us a lot about your business. We'll have talked to you. We'll have talked to your accountant. If there's no accountant, we're talking to you again about the numbers. And last but not least, we just need to know that you have a good business. Can I mention that home people, what the rules are?
Yeah,
If you
absolutely. Please do.
if you work from home, the answer is we won't evaluate you unless the entrance to your salon is not through your home, it's through a side entrance. It could be that you've set up one of these fancy sheds in the back of your garden, but unless you have signage to say that it's a business on the side door of your home, unless you've got signage on that upmarket shed business, you won't be able to apply.
Mhm.
So we need to know it's run like a business and people aren't walking through your homes to a bedroom to get their nails done. So as long as you're clear about that.
Mhm.
And we don't evaluate, we don't have the skill set or the way of backing up mobile nail technicians' results.
Mhm.
So because we cannot get the results that are seen by anyone else, a manager or whatever, we can't actually evaluate you there. So that's the other sadness. If I can work it out and find a way to do it, I will do it, but we're not there yet. So those are the do's and don'ts. Benefits are that you get a package. Firstly, you get our support for that £80 plus VAT. You're getting our support on social media the whole time.
Mhm.
So as long as you are posting, we are liking and engaging with you.
Yeah.
And it draws attention. When you first graduate, we talk to all the people, press in your area, in your neighborhood, and let them know they've got a PHAB Service Star in that town, in that nearest village. So you could be in a village, we'll talk about the town next to it, and then we'll talk about the county.
Mhm.
So we'll have told your county, etc. Last but not least, you get what's called visual social media packs, and they have your seal on them. So automatically, if you work in a salon, you will get a seal to put on your window of the salon. So when someone's walking past the salon and sees 5 nail technicians in that nail bar, they know that Gemma Jones
Mhm.
has a PHAB Service Star because the seal is bespoke and has your name on it.
Mhm.
So they're saying that in this nail bar, this particular person has proven that they function higher than industry average. Go see them.
Amazing. Because we all look at, those food hygiene ratings before we
Yes,
choose the restaurant, right? And it's
absolutely.
it's just looking at it. I think people get so frightened of applying for something like this or entering a competition or doing something like that. But look at it in practice. Look at it on an everyday level. I will walk past a restaurant. If it's got a 1-star food rating, I won't go in. If it's got a 4 or 5-star, excellent. This is a 5-star mark,
Absolutely.
and it just requires £80 plus VAT a year and an application process of the figures that people have already got. So it is strange. It's been a couple of years now since PHAB Service Stars was launched by yourself, and we really need to see more nail technicians
Correct.
helping to raise the standards within this industry by showcasing their high
Correct. There
standards.
were. And
It's
so, hence, 3 people in nails now telling you
mm,
you've got to get applying.
yeah,
Because if you're trying to stand out, and if you've got 5 other nail salons in your high street, the easiest way to stand out is with a PHAB Service Star.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
simple as that.
And I think if for salon owners that are watching this, again, just on Nergish's point earlier, it's down to the individual. It's not a business award. It is down to that individual professional that is going to be recognised. So ask all 5 members of your team to put themselves forward.
So here's the thing for salon owners, because you're the biggest risk taker, because you've put your money down in your business, because you're giving jobs in the high street, the PHAB Service Stars are designed to help you. So if Gemma Jones is in your salon, every time we talk about Gemma Jones, we have to mention that she's based in your business. So you are automatically getting the support from us. And the beauty about this is, let's pretend that Ben, the nail technician that works next to Gemma Jones in your salon, starts to see Gemma get a lot of publicity and comes up to you, the salon owner, and says, hang on a second, why am I not getting the publicity? Why is Gemma getting the publicity? And then all the salon owner has to say is because Gemma works at a higher level and performance level than anyone else in the industry. The average, she's beaten it. And then the salon owner can say, well, if you can get Gemma's numbers, like her retail performance, her performance when it comes to the number of customers she sees, etc. So what you're saying to Ben is raise your standards and then you apply. You'll also get the same benefits. And you'll also have your star on the front of my salon. So basically, it's a motivational tool for salon owners and nail bar owners to do this.
And it lets you raise the prices as well, which I think is such an important thing and is a whole nother topic. But so many nail technicians undercharge. And don't feel that they can justify increasing their prices. Well, by having this benchmark behind you, you can raise those prices confidently because you justify exactly why.
The proof's in the pudding. Michelin Star chefs charge more for their food. Finished. It's as simple as that. And you still, don't you aspire, don't you get excited when you found a Michelin Star restaurant and you try them out? It's the same thing that'll happen with you guys. It's just that someone independent has said, you are the best. It's not your manager saying you're the best. We're based in London, so let's take London. Someone down in London that has lots of industry experts that have worked together to put these numbers together and put the algorithm together for nail technicians from the nail business are saying, you're better than average.
And Nergish, how long does the process take from the moment they've submitted their application to when you either provide the feedback or pass them for a PHAB Service Star?
So one of the hairdressers, basically she's Speedy Gonzalez, she just sits up at night, puts in an application. It took her 45 minutes the first time she did it, submitted it, and then left us to do it. If it's completed, if you've scanned all your certificates and I think given us a photograph or a scan of your documents and you put them through, and you've submitted every single last section and portion. Lots of it is tick boxes. Some are answers. We don't ask you for any videos. We ask you for 4 photographs max. You can show us 2 of your best work. One of the front of your salon, if we want more, if we want to check up some more, we'll come to you and ask you to show us things like show us your towels, it's all easy stuff. We'll then make a call to you. All of that process from the day you complete your application. So she does it in 45 minutes. I know many people that take up to a month and a half to do it. Why? It's probably because they're time poor. But whatever it is, it takes 3 weeks after you have completed for us to get back to you with an answer. It'll come to you in the format of an email stating, by the way, one of the reasons why you haven't passed this is this. Here's what we think is happening in your business. So it could be these 3 reasons why this number is not working in your business. If you can just take a look at these 3 items that you're doing and improve those, and we tell you how to improve them, go away, look at them, improve them, come back with your new set of numbers. We've given you 3 months to do it. You're not waiting for years to reapply. 3 months.
And who doesn't need that push every now and again? Like you said earlier, Katie, like you've constant, if you're at the top of your game already, you need to keep pushing yourself to stay up there. And in such a quick evolving industry, um, whether you're a hairdresser, a beauty professional, or a nail technician, you need to be changing with the time, adapting your processes, and making sure that you are still above that level. And this gives you almost that lovely kind of kick and boost that you need, because you don't want to be losing your service star one year to the next. So it's good to have that. It's good to have that little bit of fire underneath you to kind of push you forward and keep going, isn't it? But just to wrap
Very
up,
exciting. It's
Katie,
very exciting to apply.
it's very exciting. Katie, what words of encouragement would you give to your fellow nail professionals who are still umming and ahhing maybe to enter to apply for a PHAB Service Star?
Well, with any kind of awards or accolades, I always say aim for the moon and you might hit a star. So what you will always win something from entering, whether it is you're winning that accolade and or you are then getting that valuable feedback to then help you then achieve those goals. And just give it a go, because sometimes you don't think you're good enough and you really are, and you will learn so much more about you and your business than you actually think. And just it gives you that ability to reflect on your business. So the icing on the cake is that you absolutely achieve it. The delicious cake underneath is that you still get that feedback and you use it, and you use it to improve your business. And I think it's time that we start recognizing those perfect manicurists and gel polish techs that do that flawless application that's safe, because I feel that part of the industry is maybe a little bit neglected in that sense, because there aren't necessarily as many competitions in those areas. There are some, and those are your bread and butter clients, those are your bread and butter techs, and that's by having that as a high standard and benchmark, I think that's the way that we're going to improve the standards of the industry. So if you are passionate about hygiene and cleanliness and good working practices as an nail tech, but you've maybe never considered anything because you only do gel polish, single color, this is absolutely perfect for you to help raise those industry standards and for you to get recognized as well.
Yeah.
Several times a year, by the way. That's amazing, Katie. You've hit the nail on the head. Several times a year, we interview you guys. So if you're a PHAB Service Star holder, you'll get interviewed by us. Then the trade magazines start to recognize you. So if your path is to get more recognized, feel like more of an expert in the industry, this is the pathway that will take you there. And what have you got to lose at the end of the day? You can sit there and apply. Only we will know. We can't talk about it outside until you've passed and you've given us the permission to say, yippee, I've passed. Of course, I'm going to have the PHAB Service Star. Let's try it out for a year. And that's the beauty of the pass. But if you haven't, all you've got is an email telling you, here's 3 areas that you can improve. What's the worst that can happen there? There is no bad outcome, but you have a pathway to follow. So really thinking about whether I'm good enough or not, just put it down and say, let me find out. After all, if you don't get the PHAB Service Star on this attempt, it's only 3 months away, plus you have a pathway.
Yeah.
And it was free of charge. We've wasted our time, not you. That's up to us. If we're trying to improve industry standards, that's up to us. So I think there is no loss there at all.
Absolutely. And I think just from my perspective and having worked with you for a number of years, Nergish, I think it's amazing that you are charging people so little because you are so keen to raise the standards across the hair, beauty and nail sectors and barbering, sorry. And it's £80 plus VAT. You can make that up in 2 nail services, sometimes even 1. And that gives you that profile for a year to say, I'm above average and I've got this amazing sticker on my door. It's on my website that I've achieved this.
And
I've
your
got
certificate.
promo certificates and that's £80. And so I've always thought, wow, I'm that's it's such a small amount to pay for that amazing insight from someone that's been in the industry and covered all facets of our industry in training. It's so valuable. You'd pay a fortune to go on, a nail workshop or a course with someone for your creativity. Why not have this feedback for your business? I think it's
Correct.
important.
Correct. It helps you make your column the best it can be.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we're doing. It needs to be productive, and that's what you're doing with this.
And that's the most important thing, I think, to having that successful business that makes you the money that you need to be making.
Yeah.
Correct. And did you have any other questions for me? Because I know you had some really great questions. I know I've answered a lot of them through this, but Katie, did you have any other questions for me?
Fine.
Hi.
No, I believe
Helena?
you've answered them all.
Yeah.
And just to let you know that when who doesn't need a push is what Helena said earlier, and my advisory board loves pushing me around. Just know that.
But it's amazing because you have created something that is so valuable for the industry, and we're all there with that one common goal, to ensure that industry standards are raised, but also an additional goal that people are highlighted. These amazing people are highlighted because they've worked hard for it and they deserve it. And what more could be asked for? So thank you, Nergish, for creating something that does that. So it's I just why not?
Yes.
Submit an application. Why not do it on a Sunday afternoon and just take those stats from your software program and just show the PHAB Service Stars board and panel and verifiers what you can do and what you have achieved and how great you are.
Wonderful. Sounds good to my ears. And don't, I mean, I'm going to say this now. Has everyone put in the application for the Scratch Stars awards? They're coming up. When's the deadline?
Deadline is 10th of March. So if you're viewing this after, you've missed it for this year and you need to, in the meantime, apply for a PHAB Service Star and then get your competition hat back on.
Yes.
But yes, this industry offers so many opportunities, whether it's for standards of excellence, whether it's competitions, awards. So, there's so many opportunities to be recognised. I think people, especially now technicians, need to embrace that and need to put themselves forward a little bit and wipe away that imposter syndrome that they're suffering from and just put themselves out there. So it can only do good things, right?
And I can thank PHAB Stars wasn't a thing. PHAB Service Stars wasn't a thing when I was working in Salem. However, competitions were, and if I hadn't have done what I'd have done with competing and pushing myself out of my comfort zone, I would not be where I was. So I can wholeheartedly say that I can, attribute my success to
Competition.
competing and pushing myself and getting that feedback. That feedback was the most valuable thing that I've ever had in my business or my professional nail work as well, to get
And
me where I
getting
am today.
recognized, you got recognized because of it.
Yeah.
And that's, people need to be recognized for doing great work.
That they do. Well, thank you both so much for taking the time to try and encourage our nail professionals and our nail sector to apply for their PHAB Service Star. All of the information can be found at phabservicestars.com. And just to clarify, this will be in the comments, but it's PHAB with a PH, so PHAB servicestars.com. So waste no time, apply today. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.